Hello everyone, welcome back to our Google Classroom. How are you dears? I hope all are safe at home. We have discussed the topic finite and non-finite verbs in the previous class. What do you mean by finite and non-finite verbs? The verbs which indicate the tense of the sentence and change according to the number and person are called finite verbs. And the verbs which do not change according to the number and person and do not indicate the tense of the sentence are called non-finite verbs. We learned that non-finite verbs are divided into three. Which are they? Infinitives, participles and gerund. Let's discuss it now. First one, infinitives. Infinitives are the base form or root form of the verb. Children, we learned that a verb has three forms. First form, second form and third form. For example, write, wrote, written. Break, broke, broken. Here, from the first word or from the base word write, we have framed the second form wrote and the third form written. Similarly, the word break. From the base form break, we have framed the second form broke and the third form broken. So, what do you mean by the base form? It is the first form of the verb and it is the root form of the verb. Now, sing, sang and sung. Which is the base form? It is sing. And sang is the second form and sung is the third form. So, it's so simple. Infinitives are the base form or root form of the verb. Infinitives are divided into two. They are bare infinitives and two infinitives. If we add two before the base form of the verb, it becomes two infinitive. For example, to go, to play. Here we have added the word to before the verbs play and go. So these are known as two infinitives. And the base form or the root form of the verb without to are known as bare infinitives. Hope you understood the difference between bare infinitive and two infinitive. Bare infinitive means the base form or root form of the verb without the word to, and two infinitive means the base form or the root form with the word to. Let me apply this in sentences. I have to go to school. I have to go to school. I am going to play. I am going to play. Bare infinitives are used before modal auxiliaries. Which are the modal auxiliaries? Can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, etc. Let me share some examples. You can go now. You can go now. Here we use the first form of the verb go without to. I will come tomorrow. I will come tomorrow. Here we use the base form come after the modal auxiliary will. So, bare infinitives are used after modal auxiliaries. So, bare infinitives means the base form or root form of the verb without to, and the base form with the word to are known as two infinitives. Let's move to the next topic, participles. Participle is also a form of verb, but sometimes it acts as an adjective. Participles functions both as a verb and as an adjective. Participles are divided into two, present participles and past participles. Present participles end in ing. That means verb plus ing. For example, go is the verb plus ing, going. Come plus ing, coming. So going, coming, playing, dancing, singing, etc. are example for present participles. Past participles end in ed, en, t, d or n. For example, played, it ends in ed. Written, it ends in en. Now, saved ends in ed. Eaten ends in en. We learned that participles acts as verb as well as adjective. Let me share some examples for this. The baby is smiling. The baby is smiling. Here, the present participle smiling is a verb. It denotes the action done by the subject baby. In the next sentence, the smiling baby caught my fingers. The smiling baby caught my fingers. Here, the present participle smiling is an adjective. It describes the word baby. Now, another sentence. Nobody knew who had painted the wall. Nobody knew who had painted the wall. Here, the past participle painted is a verb, action word. Then next sentence. Keep away from the painted wall. Keep away from the painted wall. Here, the past participle painted is an adjective. It describes the word wall. So, we learned that participles sometimes functions as a verb and sometimes functions as an adjective. Past participles are the third form of the verb. Past participles are the third form of the verb. I hope you understood the term participles. Now, let's move to our next topic, gerund. A gerund is a verb which ends in ing and functions as a noun. Actually, it is a verb, but it functions as a noun. Therefore, it is called verb nouns. It appears like a verb, but functions as a noun. For example, swimming is an excellent exercise. Swimming is an excellent exercise. Here, swimming is the gerund and it ends in ing. It functions as a noun. That means it functions as subject or object of the sentence. Here, the word swimming is the subject of the sentence. We talk about swimming. Here, no one is swimming. No one is doing the action swimming, but just we mention the action of swimming. Let me share one example. He is swimming. He is swimming. Here, the word swimming is a present participle. Here it is present participle because it is a verb. Remember, a gerund is a verb but it functions as a noun. At the same time, present participle is a verb which denotes the action. That is the difference between gerund and present participle. Both look similar but their functions are different. So, no need to confuse with the term gerund and present participle. Gerund is a verb but functions as a noun. At the same time, participle is a verb and functions as a verb or an adjective. Another example, I love singing. I love singing. He is singing a song. He is singing a song. In both these sentences, the verb singing is there. In the first sentence, the word singing functions as a noun. And in the second sentence, the verb singing functions as a verb. That is the difference between gerund and present participle. So, both the gerund and present participle ends in ing, but the difference between them is gerund always functions as a noun and present participle sometimes functions as a verb and sometimes functions as an adjective or the describing word. We have some textual activities related to infinitives, participles and gerunds. Do it yourself. All the answers of these activities are attached with the notes. First, try to do it, then check your answers. That's all for today. A YouTube URL is attached. Watch the video. A test paper is also included. Submit your answers as soon as possible. We can meet in the next class with a new topic. Thank you.